Live. It is Wednesday night, and we're here live on Wire Lady TV. Now, if you guys don't already know, this is episode number 50. I can hardly believe that I've been doing live streams for a year already. My name is Heather Boyd, if you're new to my channel, and I do a live stream every Wednesday night troubleshooting ideas for wire art and jewelry. And as usual, I'm going to pull up the video on my computer so I can check out when you guys are commenting, because I always love getting feedback from you guys in the comment section. And if you're hopping on, be sure to introduce yourself and in the comments. And sometimes I get a little carried away with my projects. So if that's the case, you guys can chat amongst yourselves in the comment section. So just let me pull up the video. And for some reason, of course, my computer is freezing, so we're going to see what we can do about that. We'll refresh the page. And yeah, so today I'm going to be doing a live stream about using the metal stamping kit. Oh, I see myself live now. No sound. That's perfect. And yeah, so I'm really happy that I've been collaborating with the Beaducation website and experimenting with some of their products. They sent me some of their really cool metal stamping products. I've never done metal stamping before, so I was really excited about it because I've always wanted to try it. And so that's what I did. So last week I did a live stream troubleshooting some ideas for designs. And then this week I actually worked on some new designs for metal stamping, and I'm going to show you guys what I made. And then today I'm going to troubleshoot a few ideas for some cat pendants. And so this Saturday and the following Saturday, I'm going to do some more finished videos with some of the metal stamping. So we have some people hopping on. We have Clarice and Janine. Hi guys, how are you? I don't know if you guys have tried any of the metal stamping yet. So if you have, let me know in the comments. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to flip my screen and show you what I've been working on this week. So you can have you can also see my very clean basement that I organized a lot of my stuff. I threw out a lot of old like craft supplies and stuff because I actually used to do a lot of craft workshops for kids, but now I don't do that so much anymore. I more do jewelry making. So I cleaned up all my craft supplies. So we have Melissa hanging on, hopping on. Hi, Melissa. How are you? I'm just going to arrange things here and show you guys. So last week on the live stream, we did these designs here. So I'm going to show you guys. These are the metal stamping things that we did last week. In fact, maybe I could. Oh, and Connie's on. Hey, how are you? So here's the and Melissa's great. That's awesome. These are the ones I did last week. Actually, let me bring my camera down a little closer so you guys can see. So these are the ones that I did last week, the dog tag and the tree and this tree. So that was really fun. You guys are going to have to excuse me too that the camera focus on the live streams goes in and out. If any of you are techie and have a solution to that problem, please let me know, because so far I haven't figured out how to avoid that problem. So I hope nobody is sensitive to that, but eventually I'll figure out the best way to do the live stream. So here's my finished one using the Beaducation metal for the tree, and I had some cutters, so I cut out the shape for that, which was really cool because the original tree I just used like their flower shape. And then what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to put this camera back up here because otherwise it's going to be jiggling all over the place. So there we go. So, okay, so Melissa says, awesome. So here's one. This one was one of the new designs that I made. It's really cute. So it says, all you need is love. So it was really funny, this one, because I was doing the wording. I was going to write all you need is love, and then I ran out of space. So instead of the word love, I just put a heart dangling in the middle. So that was really cute. So this little shape was actually sent to me by the Beaducation group, and then we did that sort of patina effect on that. And you can, I'll show you how to do that, and you can see how to do that in the live stream last week. And so some of the other samples I made this week, they have a shape that looks like a guitar pick, which was really super cool. So I just did like the name Sarah. I'll just put on an angle so you guys can see with, and then I did a little metal treble clef dangling down. And so what I would do, probably because this hangs over the name Sarah, I might do it like sideways instead of straight across, but that's kind of cool. Here, I'm going to make sure you guys can see. And then I've impressed little shapes of feathers and stuff on there too. So that's that one. And then I did a couple of really cool rings, and I think I might have put pictures of these in the Facebook group in the Wire Art and Jewelry Makers Club. If I haven't already, I'll put some pics of these samples that I made. I'm pretty sure I did. So here's a couple of rings. So this one says love. It's like an adjustable ring, very simple with no beads. And then this one, it just has little butterflies on it with beads around the outside. So I am going to do a ring tutorial on one of the Saturdays. I'm still working on this design, so if you guys have any ideas for that, just let me know. And yeah, I did put pictures in the group. Okay, that's good to know. And I know that's right. I remember now because I think the consensus of what people wanted me to do a tutorial of, a lot of people like this dream catcher with the little embossed feathers. So I think I will definitely do a tutorial for this one. I won't do it today because it does take a little longer. So I'll do a tutorial for that one probably Saturday. We'll have that tutorial up. And then I also did a few experiments where I just made my own little metal shapes out of steel wire. And Nadine says, awesome. And Melissa says, sweet. Thanks, guys. So here's a little steel shape. And I thought, what would happen if I just made a little steel spiral and tried to press it into the metal? So you'll see here, I didn't press hard enough. So that one didn't work out too well. But then when I pushed it a little harder, I was able to impress the shape of the spiral into the metal, which was really cool. But because the metal, it is steel, but it's still fragile. So it got a little bit flattened, but it did leave a nice little impression in the metal, which was cute. And then I also tried the same thing by making, I can barely pick it up, it's so tiny, by making a little heart like that. So it's just like experimenting with different ideas of things that I can do with that. So what I wanted to try today was I had some little ideas to do some cats. So yeah, it's interesting working with the wire and the metal stamping because I always like a challenge, a design challenge. So as you guys know on my live stream, sometimes the challenges work out and sometimes they don't. So I thought today I'm going to try to do a little cat thing. And Nadine said, I made a Virgo ring from the, okay, that's awesome. Oh, I'd love to see that. Fantastic. Yeah, that was a fun project doing all those the zodiac signs for sure. So unfortunately, this is the only last piece I have of the metal left, so I'm gonna have to use it sparingly. And so what I think I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut a little piece like this. I'm gonna actually pick up some more of this metal. I did have some other metal, but it was too thick, and then I had some other embossing metal which was too thin. So this seems to be like an average weight. And all of like these types of supplies are available on the Beeducation website, and I'll link it up in the video below in the description. And until the end of March, they're offering a 15% discount with a coupon code. So I'll put the coupon code below as well. It's already up in the description of last week's live stream, but you can, I'm gonna, once this video is published, I'll publish the coupon code there too. So the idea, this is a little tricky to cut this metal. These are just regular cutting shears for metal that you can get on their website. Just be super careful when you're doing this. If you are crafting with kids, be sure you do the cutting and the filing for them because it is really really sharp. So the easiest way to cut is to cut a shape like more or less the size of what you want because it's a little hard to manipulate. So what I'm gonna do is I could draw this first, but I think I'm going to just kind of freehand it and see what I can come up with for the shape of a cat. But you definitely could draw it out first. So what I want to do is a little bit of a rounded shape for the bottom of the face. And it seems to work out okay if you just kind of pull this around, and you just go around and around. And I've actually done kind of cutting of metal using a saw. In fact, I have a jeweler's saw that you can saw metal with. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you guys have ever done this type of work where you're cutting metal. I'd be curious to know about that. So yeah, the heart. Ginny says, "Wow, that heart is tiny, but so awesome." Yeah, the heart was really cute too. So this is just sort of the basic shape of the cat. But now I want to try to get these ears and I thought it would be easier just to cut it down and up like that, but I'm going to see if I can cut something like that with a little bit of a flat forehead. So it's going to be a little tricky with um with these not to like get that cut right out. So I think if we just start with the ears, okay, like that. But this is the tricky part, is going to be getting it in there. And I was thinking maybe if I just got the pliers to lift it up a bit. And the other thing you could do is almost, see if it's going to work if I just bent it back and forth. That might be the best way to do it. You guys know me, I'm always winging it to see what, oh, you know what? That works really well. I had no idea I was going to do that, but I just figured out that that works the best when you do it that way. So already we have this shape of a cat, which is really cool. And we want to be careful not to scratch it up too much. If you do have pliers with a silicone outside to it, that would be probably the best thing. If you don't want the ears too sharp, you can always just give them a wee little clip like around there, just to dull them down a little bit so they're not like knife-like. And then you can get a file and just, I'm not going to go crazy with the filing, but you can get a file and just kind of file around the edges. So already this looks a lot better than I thought it was going to be. And then I was thinking we should probably give it, since we are using the metal stamping kit. There's Claudia. Hey, Claudia, how are you? We were just chatting on Messenger today. So, Claudia, we're doing metal stamping, and I just cut out the shape of a cat with my cutting shears out of metal, and I'm doing my best not to cut myself. So I think we're good. I think we're good so far. Now, I don't really have anything in the texture of cat hair to impress into this piece, but I think what I'm going to do is just use a feather to give just a little suggestion of hair in the ears, just to say we did a little bit of stamping. It might look silly, but we're just going to try it anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this here. Now I need everybody to cover their ears because this can be extremely noisy, like you know last week. So Claudia, huge heads up to cover your ears because this is going to be a big bang now, just to get a little bit of texture in here. And this hammer is actually not even strong enough. They suggest using a 1-pound hammer. This one I don't think is that heavy. So I'll give it a little tap, but it's going to be loud. So 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to do one on the other side. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so they totally did not, I didn't center it properly at all. So I'm going to do another, maybe I'll just do another couple just to give it some texture. 1, 2, 3. And then another one here just to say we have a wee bit of texture there. 1, 2, 3. And then maybe if anybody does metal stamping, you can suggest to me what might be a good stamp alternative to use to do that kind of texture. In fact, we could go nuts and go do an all over texture on the cat face, and that would probably be really cute. But just to save on time, I'm not going to do that. And so what I didn't have last week when I did the live stream and is something that they sent me this week is I have this hole punch. So what I want to do is punch a little, cup 2 little holes where the nose is so I can stick the whiskers through. So I'm actually going to do 2 versions of this cat because I want to try it once with 1 hole and once with 2 holes. So what we want to do is we're going to almost center the hole punch, but put it a little to one side because we want to put 2 holes and we don't want them too close together. So let's just go ahead and put one little. Oh, it works really well. Wow, that is cool. I was going crazy on the weekend trying to do holes with nails, and it was not working at all. So this is a fantastic tool. Yeah, if you guys want to get this, I'll link up the listing for this one below too. So I think my holes are maybe a little too spaced apart now, but that's okay. His whiskers might be a little lopsided. So we're going to do 2 holes here. And Kathy's on. Hey, Kathy, how are you? We've just cut out the shape of this cat. I put a couple of holes here for the whiskers. And the other thing I was thinking we could do, and I really don't know if it's going to work, I had 2 ideas. One was to do impress a little, just put a little impression for the, to put some little rhinestones for the eyes. Or on this one, I'm actually going to do a couple of holes for the eyes and try to add, I'm going to try to add some beads to it. So this is, yeah, this is very experimental, but we're going to see. So let's just poke a hole here. Okay. And Claudia says, super cute. It's coming along. It's definitely coming along here. So we're going to do another hole here. So now I'm poking the holes for the eyes. I'm loving this tool for poking holes in metal. It's fantastic. Wow, I struggled all weekend trying to get holes in my in my metal. So now what we want to do for the whiskers is I'm going to get a different color of wire. I could do gold or I could do silver. Let's see which one looks better. What do you guys think? Should I use the gold wire with the copper or the silver wire with the copper? First person to comment, I will take their advice. So we're going to do that. And then in the meantime, I'm going to find some beads that I'm going to put for the eyes. So I'll see what color beads I can use for the eyes. Maybe some green ones. Gold and gold. Okay, consensus. That's awesome. So let's do the gold. This is a 24 gauge wire. So we're going to cut a few pieces. I never know quite how long I need to make them. So let's just cut them probably about 4 or 5 inches. And I'm hoping this is going to be the right gauge, because if it's too thick, they're not going to go through the holes. But if it's too thin, it's going to be too flimsy. So gold would be a nice contrast. There we go. Perfect. Thanks, guys. Gold it is. So what we want to do is, let me try to put them through all 3 at once. And because they have to go through 2 holes, what I'm going to do is I'm stacking the 3 wires. I'm going to take my round pliers. I'm just going to hold the wires in the middle and then just push them up. I've made sort of like a U shape with the 3 wires. So let's just take these. I'm going to take my cat face. I'm going to string these 3 wires through one of the holes on the left side, and then I'm going to stick the other ends through the hole on the right side. I probably should have cut these all more or less the same length, but it's okay. We'll just wiggle them through. So for sure these fit fine. I think 22 gauge would have been too tight. I don't think it would have gone through so much. So I don't know if you guys can see. I'm going to hold the cat face on the side. So what we do is we have the wires going through from the back to the front. And then to make sure they stay in place, let's give them a little tug and push them out to the side. And the same on this side. We'll give them a little tug and push them out to the side. So this is pretty cool. See, this is they're going to stay in place, I think. So now what I want to do, because I want to do them, I want to kind of twist them a little bit. But I think for now, what I'm going to do is just give them a little cut. Melissa says cute. They are cute, eh? Yeah, I'm really happy how this is turning out. I really wasn't sure how well it was going to work, you know, with cutting the shape and all that, but it seems to be okay. So before we go finish the whiskers, I want to attach some beads for the eyes. So let's see what we have for eyes. And I'll try a couple of colors and you guys can tell me which ones are going to be good. Okay, so for the eyes, I have like a purple and I have like a green, whoopsies. I have a green and a purple. So I don't know if you guys can see. It's really hard with this light to see the colors. Green, okay, yes. Yes, that's perfect. I like decisive people. That's awesome. So we're going to go ahead and get the green wires. And now what I'm thinking to do for that is I have to get another piece of the little wire. Uh-oh, we have 1 purple and 3 green. Oh, 4 greens. So Claudia, I'm afraid you're outnumbered because everybody else is saying green. But I know purple is your favorite color, so I totally get why you chose purple. So now we're going to take one of these beads, one of the green beads. This is the miracle bead, and then we want to take the bead, bend the wires down like in a kind of a U shape, really squeeze them in, because the idea is we're going to try to stick these in the hole. Now, hopefully this is going to work. We're going to see what happens here. A lot of people love purple, but the green for the cat is good. So we're going to stick this one in here. Now this is where I'm not sure if it's going to work so well. So I just stuck the 2 wires in there. And we're going to stick it in as much as we can. See, it's getting a little off-centered there. Okay, so let me just see how well this is going to stay in there. So if we stick this one... Oh, I have another idea that might work, because the trouble with this is I'm going to have a lot of trouble centering this. I'm going to try something else. So let me take this one out. And I'm going to actually take the same wire and cut the end. And what I want to do is a tiny, tiny loop in the wire. Maybe use a seed bead. A seed bead probably would work too. And either that, or maybe even have a larger hole punch. But I think for now I'll go with this, and then maybe I'll try another one later with a seed bead. So I'm just going to do a teeny little loop in the end of the wire. Stick the bead through there, okay? And then now I'm going to stick it through the hole of the cat face. And you'll see, if you put it on its side, you can see that loop, or a head pin. Ooh, yes, head pin is a good idea. But I don't have a head pin with me. But imagine you could totally actually do that with a head. Oh, I almost want to run upstairs and get a head pin. Okay, that's a great idea. So if you were to do with a head pin, it would be the same idea. In fact, you know what I could do? Oh yeah, a head pin. Do it, run upstairs. I don't want to run upstairs because I'm all bundled up here in a blanket. And if I run upstairs, it's going to take me forever to find the head pin. So let's just go ahead. Go. So I'm gonna make a pretend head pin. So what we're going to do is just see where I did the little loop? I'm just gonna fold it down. So then it's gonna be somewhat flat. So it's like a fake head pin. So we're gonna just go like that. We're gonna pretend it's a head pin. We're gonna put it through the hole here of this, and then, or flatten your loop. Yeah, I could, yeah, I think it's pretty good. It's not as clean as a head pin, but it's not too bad. So now what we want to do for it to stay in place is we're going to flip it around, and then we'll just cut this to, say, about 1/4 of an inch. Now this is going to be at the back, so it really doesn't matter what it looks like so much. And we're going to take this end with our round pliers, and you just want to loop it so it's good. Oh, I just broke the wire. Okay, that's the trouble with this skinny wire. It's very easy to break. So what you want to do is just tighten up. Yeah, hopefully I didn't break too much of it. It's not too bad. No, that's not working. Okay, I'm gonna have to do this again because it broke. That's the trouble when you pinch the wire too much, it'll break. What better? Oops, sorry, I'm missing the comments. Gives you some dimension to the eye. It's true. Yeah, it does give it a little bit of a dimension, which is good. Yeah, I just pinched my wire too much, so it just snapped. That's the trouble with this thin wire. It can do that. So let's try again. We're gonna do it just a little quickly. So we'll go ahead and do the top loop again, like we did with our fake head pin, and then we'll just bend it down. Get our bead on there. and put it back through the hole, and hopefully we won't break it this time. So I just have to take a little more caution, cut this to 1/4 inch. Actually, a way to avoid that is I'll use my bigger round pliers because they don't tend to pinch the wire as much. And we'll just give it a big loop like that. And let's just see if that's going to work. No, it didn't work either. It's too big now. Okay, so we're going to just go around like that. Let's see if this is going to, I think it's going to hold. Yeah, it's a little wiggly, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad. So yes, Claudia says she's looking forward to feeling what it looks like. So I don't know if you guys know, Claudia's been on the live stream before, and we've done some collabs together before, and Claudia has her own channel that I can link it up below too. And she's actually blind, and so she sees my work by feeling it. So whenever we get together at one of our YouTube events or whatever, I usually bring like a bunch of my finished products that she's listened to my tutorials, and then I bring her the finished products so she can actually feel what they look like, I guess you would say. And yeah, so that's pretty awesome. In fact, Claudia and I did a collab where she made a couple of things and I thought they were fantastic. So bend the loop in. Okay, Melissa says bend the loop in onto the metal like that. I think it's pretty good. I think the head pin would be better, but it's not too bad. But the thing I'm wondering here is these are a little bit wobbly, but that just might be a matter of tightening them up a little bit. Like this thing with the eyes, it's totally experimental. So this is one way to do it. I'm going to experiment with other ways that we can do that, but I think the basic idea is okay, is to have a hole to kind of get it started with that. So there we have our, yeah, they're a little too dangly. I don't know if you guys can see. I'm trying to think of another solution for that because they're a little too dangly like that. Do you see what I mean? Like they're kind of weird loopy things. But the other thing that I could do, which I do sometimes, and I can try it now, like this. Okay, so you guys can see what this looks like, and they're really dangly. Yeah, something in the back, bend the loop onto the middle at the back. Okay, is that what you mean to tighten them up? I can try that. Let's see how that works. If we can try that just to bend it like at a right angle type of thing. Let's see what happens if we do that. They won't tighten up. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, is tighten them up. Ooh, they're getting a little worse unless I actually do like more wire at the back. Let me try one more solution, and if it doesn't work, I can try something completely different. Or maybe we even need a thicker wire. Let's try that too. Okay, I'm going to take a 20 gauge wire, and we're going to see if that's going to work any better, because I find the 24 gauge is a little bit too fragile. So let's try the 20 gauge. We'll do a little loop. I really think it would be better with a head pin. That's what I get for being lazy and not going upstairs, but hey, or glue. That's an idea too. So let's just try with the 20 gauge. And if it works with the 20 gauge, I'll switch the other. And if it doesn't work, I'll try my other solution. So let's just stick this one through here. Okay. And hold it in place. And again, we'll cut it to like a 3/8 of an inch. And then I'll take this one and just really tighten it in there. Okay, let's see if that's going to work. Yeah, it's still really strange, guys. It's really loose. So you know what I'm going to do? And if any of you guys have this metal at home or order the metal and try it and find a solution, please let me know. So in theory, I could just leave it without eyes like that. But let's just try my other solution, which is how I do sometimes when I do cat jewelry, I do it this way. So what I can do is actually take this. I think this wire is going to have to be longer though. So let me take out one of these wires. Okay, I'm going to just take one of these out. And yeah, this is the charm of these live streams is we're just really troubleshooting ideas to see what's going to work. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So what I'm going to do now is actually cut a larger piece of wire. And I have some earrings that I make a lot. Actually, not earrings. It's a bookmark that I make with the little whiskers that I do in this way. Like I attach the beads with the wire. So you're going to see how I'm going to do that. So now my top whisker is actually with a longer piece of wire. So let me just get these ones out of the way a little bit. So we'll just stick that one through the back. There's one side, and then we'll do the other side. Just get it through the back there. Yeah, we want to make sure that the angle is okay. This is really snug, but I think 24 gauge is just the limit, because any thinner would be too thin and any thicker isn't going to fit through that hole. So there we go. So let's try this again like this. Okay, so we're going to get these. This is going to be our top whisker. So now the idea, and hopefully they'll line up to cover those holes a little bit, we're going to take our bead and you want to hold it. Let's hold it around where that hole is. And the idea is we're going to loop this around. Okay, we're just going to loop it around a couple of times. Loop it around the bead a couple of times. And there you see it's held in place. And it's not, yeah, it's actually pretty good. I guess you could even put a little dab of glue if you wanted it to be a little more solid. But let's just try it this way and see what happens. It gives it a kind of a nice finished effect. So if you do it this way, you actually don't even need to poke those holes for the eyes, because these eyes sit on the surface. Let me move some of my pliers out of the way so we could see. And if I do come up with a solution for getting those beads through the holes, I'll definitely share it with you guys in the Facebook group or in the community page here. But see, already that's pretty good. Like they're holding in place like that. So that works. And so now what I wanted to do is actually make some little how do you say, like little spirals. But what I might try to do is to make this extra solid, because see, these can flip back and forth, these eyes now. But I think if I go ahead and bring this wire to the back, string it through that hole that I made. So there was a purpose of making that hole. Let's string it through the hole. It's just going to secure it a little bit in place. So there we go. We're going to string it through the hole, hold the eye in place, and then just pull this through. And what it's going to do is just make it a little bit more secure like that. Okay, it just gives it a little more stability in there. Okay, and let's do the same thing here. We're going to hold that in place, string the wire around the side, from back to front. Okay, try not to get it all kinked up, and then just we're almost like sewing it in place. So that way I'm not worried about my eyes falling all over the place. So we just have to bend it back down to kind of line up with where it was in the first place. Okay. So that's kind of fun. He looks a little sad, but that's okay. We're going to go like that. And then now I'll show you guys how to make the whiskers kind of spirally. We're going to cut them now so they're all the same length. Okay, let's move these. And then we're going to get our round pliers and just start forming the circle. So we're just, but you have to be very gentle because this is 24 gauge. So if we just, here, let me use my other pliers, I think, because I like these bigger pliers sometimes because you can actually continue doing the whole spiral with these. So let's just go ahead and we're just going to twist it up like this. Okay, we're going to twist them all. Okay, just to get it started. And then maybe the ones on the bottom, we'll twist it down towards the bottom a little bit. And these will be able to adjust at the end. But right now, I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm just kind of doing a very loose spiral with these big, I love these big round pliers. These are one of my favorite pliers. I actually bought these in Toronto many years ago, like when I first started making wire jewelry. And they end up being one of my favorite pairs of pliers. I don't even think I got them at a jewelry making place. I think I just got them at some random hardware store. So now these look kind of crazy. They're all over the map, these whiskers. But now what you want to do is just, the wire's really soft, so you can just push them in with your fingers just to get it to sit a little more flat. So you could do this with your pliers or with your fingers. If the spiral's too loose, we can tighten it up a bit, just with the other pliers. So what's the plan with the cat? So the cat is going to go on a pendant, or it will be a pendant. So I'll show you guys how to do that. We'll just tighten up the spirals a little bit, and then I'll give you guys a closer look to see. And I think what we'll just do is poke a little hole at the top, and we'll put a jump ring on there, and that'll be a instant pendant. But you could also, because they're not super big, you can make them into earrings. That'd be cute, little cat earrings. So yeah, I kind of like the way this looks. And I think if you did go ahead, what you could do is go ahead and do some of this texturing with the metal stamper and patina it too. And I don't know if you guys remember from last week, but how you do the patina is you basically just put Sharpie on it and buff it, and that makes a really cool effect. So here's the cat. It's super cute. So now what we're going to do is take our hole punch again. I really love this hole punch. And then we're going to just find the center of the cat, not too close to the edge. I'm going to have to get used to how close to the edge you can do this. And then you just poke it, and it really makes a nice clean hole at the top. I didn't center it too well, but it's not too bad. And then we just would get a jump ring, which of course I don't have a jump ring with me, but just let me get some wire. I could just make a quickie jump ring out of wire. So we're just going to cut a piece of wire, and we'll just pretend this is a real jump ring. There we go. So yeah, this is definitely an original piece because I just worked out the design now. So thanks to you guys and your input, we have a new design, which is really cool. So we're just going to put it on a jump ring. Okay, we'll open up the jump ring and then stick it on there like that. And there we have a little cat pendant, which is super, super cute. And so that was one way I thought to do it. And the other way was to do just like the ears like a V, but I really don't think I have to do it that way because we figured out a way to cut this in a nice shape like that. And that way you can center it nicely. And then the only thing that I didn't really show you was how to do the patina effect on there. And that way, that one I can show you super quick, because basically the patina, like if you did an all over pattern on the cat, you can do that. And then what you would do is you just take your Sharpie. I'll just do it on this scrap piece to show you. So you would just take your Sharpie and you would just color, say where the patterns are on the cat, and you just color it with the Sharpie, and then you just get a little buffing cloth and you just rub it with the buffing cloth. So I'll just grab that. So here's the little buffing cloth, and this all comes in the wire stamping kit from Beeducation, and I'll link that up below as well. And then, like I said, this weekend I'll do a finished one for the dream catcher. And if I figure out those eyes of the cat, I actually might do another video about how to make the cat, but I think we figured it out. It's not too bad. So when you rub it, it shines the metal, and it leaves a little bit of the black. I don't know if you can see, it leaves a little bit of the black in the crevices. Let me show you with one of the other designs that I have. Yeah, like for this, for example, with this one, you can see it leaves the black in the little areas. So that's just with the Sharpie. So yeah, so let me bring my camera down. I think we only really had time for the one thing today, but it turned out super well. So here it is. Let me see if I can get it. It's really hard. I'm going to take a picture and put it in the wire art group. So here's Kitty, and then if we flip it on the back, it looks pretty clean on the back too, like that. And so that could be earrings or a pendant. And so now I'm going to flip the screen around. We have a few comments. Melissa says moxidize is what it's called. Yes. So that's, yeah. So the when you could either do it with Sharpie or you can do it with, they have some kind of sulfur thing that you could dip your work in and polish it up for oxidizing it like that. Yeah. So yeah, guys, I can't believe we've been on here for 40 minutes and made only one thing, but it turned out well, so that's good. I'm pretty happy about that. And look out this weekend, I'll do the Dreamcatcher tutorial, and then the following week I'm going to do some tutorial on how to make a few of the metal stamped rings, which is going to be super cool. So yeah, so if you need any of these supplies, I do have a coupon code for the Beaducation that I'm going to link up below in the description. And if you guys make any of these projects from the live streams or any of my tutorials, be sure to share them in the Facebook group, the Wire Art and Jewelry Makers Club. And if you don't have Facebook, you can email them to me at info@heatherboydwire.com. And Nadine says, yay, yeah, it worked out. I can't believe it. That would be really bad if I tried to do a project on a live stream and it absolutely didn't work out. That's why I usually do a few, because I usually have one or two that don't work, and then there's usually at least one that works. But the cat worked. I'm pretty happy about that. So that's awesome. And yeah, I wish everybody a wonderful rest of the week and a wonderful weekend when it comes up. Melissa says, great video. Thank you. Well, thanks so much for your patience too with my not so great quality of the video streaming, but that too, I'm going to work out to find the best way to do it. So, oh, Cat's on. I'm just getting ready, getting in. Oh, that's okay, Cat. Don't worry about it. Nice to see you. And you can watch the replay to see how we made the cat. Thanks, Kathy. I hope you end up making some of these.